You got your chair and screen too?
Say it again.
You got your chair and the screen too?
See, that's what you do, brother. Work behind the scenes too. Make sure we gravy, make sure we straight. So let's get to it, y'all. I'm just saying the podcast, we back. Me and your man Mike Smalls, the true businessman. You know us straight from your hood and every other hood that you can imagine. But let's get right to it, y'all. We got a few different things we've been bugging our minds and we want to get to it. But right away, I'm gonna get to Mike and let Mike get straight to it, to the back, off bat. Mike, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying we here, we back.
Glad to see you back. First of all, my apologies. I meant to ask you, how was your week, man? And what you been up to lately? And what's been going on, man? I know you always in the gym. I seen your Instagrams. You popping in the gym. You look like you about to be a personal trainer, but I know you don't have the time to do that. You personally train in buildings and Airbnbs. You training them how to get in shape. I love that though. But I love how you look, man. Physically fit, man. You ready for the winter, summer, and the spring. Well, what's been going on with you?
Pretty much, I'm a family man these days, man.
God bless.
Yeah. I make sure I devote a lot of time to my family. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on out there in the world.
Right, in the world.
So I turn myself into an introvert. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got my blinders on. You know what I'm saying? My blockers, I should say. And I just family time is precious. So I get as much family time in as I can.
Right.
But you still gotta go make the donut.
You still gotta go make the donuts.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Uncle Sam went his.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The electric company went theirs.
Right. You could just be sitting in the bed and something come up. Like, oh, you need extra money for this came up. And,
Absolutely.
And then your mind got to go to there and feed that. And if you don't have it, then you like in a pinch. So.
Yeah, every day. But that's where, penny pinching and saving. I'm a frugal dude.
Right.
I'm a frugal dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not really into clothes and all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when you buy clothes and all that, that's really not to please you.
Right. That's pleasing others.
That's pleasing other people.
Right.
That's getting the other people.
Right.
To look at you a certain way, like you got it, or you live in a certain kind of way, or this your lifestyle, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't care nothing about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I go to one of them stores and get a little $30 sweatsuit
and still look good. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I seen you go out to other places out of state. You and your wife, and y'all had minks on, and people mouth wide open. But if you want to, you can go Star Select, like you going to Night on Broadway to the Fox Theater or something. I know you. I seen you. You look like you could.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted.
But that's not your everyday thing. But I know you. Don't
get it twisted.
If you gonna go big, you gonna go major league.
Yeah. Now that's the only time I might go over the top. Like if me and my wife going somewhere, we was in. Yeah, actually, let me give you a quick story. We was in Denver, Colorado, and we was suited and booted. We was dressed a little bit. We had to, I don't want to offend FEMA or none of that. You know what I'm saying? But we had some things on.
You had to tell.
Yeah, and they was looking at us like we had 3 heads, man. They was looking at us. They was looking at us like we wasn't supposed to be there, and we wasn't supposed to look like we was looking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we took it as a compliment.
Right.
We went and had dinner. Went and seen a show. We enjoyed our time. You know what I'm saying? But in the back of my mind, it let us know the state that we still in to this day.
Right. Our climate now.
Yeah, the state that how we still get looked at by other people, other nationalities.
Right.
I'm gonna say.
Right.
But I'm gonna get off of that, and whatever you got going on, whatever you're doing, you still gotta make time for yourself. Still gotta make time for your family.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And every interaction, the time. When I say time for family, it's a difference because it's 3 families. Right. You got you and your wife interaction.
Right.
You got you and your wife kids interaction.
Right.
And then, last but not least, you got to interact with your wife's family.
Yep, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So
3 entities
yeah,
right there.
so that's 3 different dimensions you got to deal with when you just dealing with family, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I love my family, man. I you know, I it ain't nothing I wouldn't give up to keep my family intact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And teaching your kids that family comes first.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a you know, it's a ritual way, but we're not taught that way. But you're keeping a chain line that other cultures and existence of people keep together. You keeping that together and teaching them, hey, this is the way it is. Family come first.
I mean, you know how I think about it as I got older, you know, coming up through the ranks and everything. I feel like we're as men, we're men.
Right.
As men, we're smart enough to know now the rights and wrongs and differences that we weren't taught when we were coming up.
That's true.
So we can start instilling those values in our children.
Right.
So we can start implementing it in our daily life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain things we wasn't taught. We're not gonna get in. You know, we're not gonna get into what we wasn't taught.
Right.
And what we was taught.
Right.
And the rights and wrong in both.
Right.
But we know.
We know.
Yeah, that's for another episode. But
right.
But we know.
Right.
But you know, certain things that I wasn't taught that I had to learn along the line. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to instill in my children.
Right.
While they young.
And pass them the knowledge.
So while they coming up through the ranks, they don't have the same problems.
Right.
And, you know, the same hurdles and obstacles we had.
Right.
And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Cut and dry.
Right.
It ain't no big extravagant plan, no story or nothing.
Yeah.
It just want your kids to know more than you did.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that make any sense to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
So after real quick before we go into the topics of I'm just saying and everything that we do, our rituals and whatever, I had some people say, so when y'all gonna go on Instagram Live and do a show? Ask Mike on the air when they gonna do an Instagram Live. I said, okay, that's not rated R. I can ask them that, but don't ask me nothing crazy. They ask on it won't get asked. Just know that. So they want to know when y'all gonna go. But to me, Mike, I'll be honest with you. If you missed the timeline, would it matter? But go ahead, answer the question. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ask a question and then answer.
I mean, we'll get to it. It's some paperwork that got to be touched up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I talked to some people. I talked to a couple of people this past week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there, you know.
So it's on the way.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Rome wasn't built in a day. But for what you're waiting for, it's a recipe that will leave you filled and full instead of, you know, still hungry. It tastes good, but, you know, you'll be full. And we're building a product up to where you'll have so much to pick from. It'll be like Netflix, episode 1, 7, 6, 12, 13. We on that level. So we're building a product up. But because Mike is involved with so many entities as well as me, as we multitask and do a lot with outside of just being family men, we businessmen. So we giving you the best we got, no matter what the circumstances is. So if you love it, just continue to like it, and we'll continue to feed you and keep you fed. I'm gonna leave that there where it's at. You know what I mean?
Let me interject one more thing. Since you said that, since people been asking, a couple people been asking me too. So what I will do, not what I will do, what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I can get some clips, and we can upload the clips, and depending on the feedback we get from the clips, we can start uploading more.
Yeah, probably.
Not a whole episode.
Not a whole, but just more clips. Upload more clips because we got so many packages of clips.
Yeah, depending on the feedback.
Right.
Then,
yeah.
Then, you know, we take it from there. If the feedback is just so much that, you know, we gotta let it go, then we gotta let it go.
Right. So we're gonna move on and keep it interesting. So we got a few different topics that we're gonna touch base on, and then we're gonna move it right along. And first of all, we want to thank all y'all for tuning in to I'm Just Saying the podcast with me, your boy Montego Jabe, and your man Mikey Smalls, the business shrewd man. Yo, Mike, last week a lot of people were saying, oh, it's Easter and it doesn't feel like Easter, and it's Easter and the climate is different now, but to me it just seemed like It's the same thing, but we just grown. I don't feel it, but other people who maybe wanted to feel it spoke on it. How do you feel? I know we don't really celebrate it, but I'm just saying, as far as that school break, as far as kids still wanting to get dressed up for that one day, how do you feel about it now that we are graduated from it and parents of it now? I know you don't really want to speak on it too much, but just briefly, give me and cut it dry and short.
All right, not to offend nobody, nobody's religion, how nobody view Easter, and but what is Easter really for? What is Easter really? And I've celebrated Easter coming up.
As a
kid,
kid,
what is
I didn't know
really
better
for?
either. I didn't know better either.
What is the meaning of Easter?
So they say the meaning of Easter is supposed to be like resurrection. So, but they don't. But Mike, if that's the truth, world, then how come is it? I don't hear nobody saying Happy Resurrection, or in the sense of the same following as Resurrection Day, as sacrificial day. If this is a sacrifice, what they saying sacrifice, right? If this is a sacrifice day, then what are we teaching in sacrifice terms? I don't see it. I see everybody still hand out for themselves for this day if they into it, because my kids, thank God, don't celebrate it and wasn't raised that way, and don't even look for any outlet for that day. They take advantage of the days off from school like any other kid would, but that's as far as it go. We don't even talk about it in the household. It's not a tradition that I wanted them to accustom to like the other kids at school would. But to get to a long story short, I just want to know this. How come if it's a day that is, like you said, supposed to be about resurrection of Christ, how come we don't mention that factor or teach and install our children and our youth and other people, not the church, in the households, in the communities? They all look forward to this, and I'm going to leave it there. Why do you continue this tradition if you're not teaching the actual facts of this alleged or holiday that you celebrate to your culture and your people and your children? Why? If it's supposed to be a resurrection day, if that's the case, and I'm not doubting it, I'm not knocking nobody. I don't want to start a religious war here. I'm not. What I'm saying is that if this is the day that we are celebrating and having Holy Communion and whatever it is, how come we're not actually hearing the word Resurrection Day? Just food for thought. I want to know, because it's like it's the Easter Bunny. It's the Easter Bunny Day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get into it. I'm going to leave it alone, because I could go on and on and on about this. These messages with rabbits and all that, but I'm going to leave it there. I don't think a rabbit had anything to do when they was creating this holiday, but they turned it into that. If you can see that, this is a joke. But I'm not going to offend you and say that you're a joke. I'm going to offend you that the Easter egg bunny is a joke. The real purpose of this was supposed to be something different. That's all.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. All right, Mike. So before we got caught up into holiday talk and all that, and what we just got through and all that, I had a thought, but before I get to that thought, I just had a little, moment right there. So I want to let you elaborate, and I know that, you could think of many things that come to your mind that could be interesting right now in the present moment, where you want to send a message and elaborate to the people. And I'm just saying, world.
You want me to go off the top?
I mean, you got it. I just want to ask you, what's an important message that you might have been holding back that you want to, reach out to the people or whoever people and deliberate on?
Well, I don't have a comment, but I can come up with a question.
That's what I mean.
And my question is, can a husband and wife go into business together?
Oh, that's a good question. Can a husband and a wife go into business? Most people will say, sure, that's easy.
Is it?
But it's not. Because if you're scared to take a job working in a factory company or anywhere with your wife, then would it be easy to go into a business with her, working side by side with her more and longer hours and less pay at first probably. So I would have to say it's not easy at all. Why would I think it's easy? But some might disagree. How do you object, Mike?
My first thought would be it depends on the people. It depends on the couple. And I know for me and my wife, she has a couple businesses going on, and I let her do her thing. But if she reach out to me on certain aspects, then I step in and give a positive reinforcement or whatever.
Nice, I like
but
that.
Things though, I'm sitting here thinking about it. One of the things she does, she has a teeth whitening business. And
nice.
as I'm sitting here thinking, I'm coming up with numbers because I'm dyslexic.
Right.
So if anybody knows anything about people who are dyslexic, numbers just go through our head so fast. And the answers be right, but it don't be you. The answer will be right, but you don't come up with the answer the same way a person who's not dyslexic will come up with the answer.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And as I'm sitting here, I'm gonna just break it down into numbers we all can agree on. Let's just say she would come to me and she wants me to invest $100. $100. We would have to write out a contract, a plan, which I really probably wouldn't, but we should write out a contract, a plan to where though how much. Once I give you this $100, how much am I going to receive on a monthly basis?
Right.
It don't have to be weekly, bi-weekly. It can just be monthly.
Monthly, right.
So as I'm sitting here thinking, I would say I would write up a year-long contract, and I would say give me 20%. 20%. Let's just say you only make $100 a month, so that's $20 a month. All right, so within 5 months, out of my $100, I will have my $100 back.
Right.
But we're already under contract for 12 months.
Right.
So the other 7 months, that would be $140 profit that I made off of my $100. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like husband and wife can go into business together. Once again, depending on the husband and wife, are they able to work together? Can they keep the business outside of the home? That's why me and my wife that's why we haven't collaborated and did no business together already. Because I'm more so to the point, I don't want to handle business inside of my household. If me and you go into business, I want all our business conversations, all our phone calls, all our texts concerning business to be while we're outside of the household. Right. Once we come in this household, it's family time. Everything else gets cut off. Once we come in this household, it's family time. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand it. We got to understand it.
That's deep.
And that's pretty much why we never been in the business together. She has a couple.
And you're the businessman with multi businesses.
Yeah, I'm proud of my baby, man.
That's wonderful, man. She's a go-getter. She's a businesswoman and a go-getter.
For sure. She won't see this, so I can give her her props.
Right. But one day she will see it, and he recognizes your hustle mentality. Nothing like a Cinderella just waiting for magic to happen, but actually a go-getter making it happen herself. Props to Mike's wife, because we got to acknowledge the woman who's making a difference. And I'm going to acknowledge my woman, who's also a businesswoman. And she is definitely behind a lot of little business entities that I created, that she helped me create it. So I want to give her a shout out, because I know one day she will see this, and I respect your hustle. She got a little few businesses. She's just like you, Mike. She owns a couple properties, and she's pushing me to get a property rental versus trying to get, an expensive property I'm be paying for the rest of my life. Same advice you gave me. Get something for about $30,000, fix it up, and just put people in there. And she's doing that already, and just like you, I'm proud of her.
Let me interject, right? Because there's something you just said just piqued my interest, right? Why when we talk about anything, we always put the word little in front of it.
Right.
I just know as you said, she helped me with my little business venture. She helped me with my little idea.
Right.
No, us as a people, as a culture, we gotta stop putting little in front of certain things, because I know for me, if somebody says something, my idea is little, or my plan is little, my contract is, I'm taking that as disrespect.
Yeah.
Because I don't think nothing that I do is little.
That's true.
Nothing that I do is little.
Right. And that's
you
a
know
mentality
and if I don't
way
think
of thinking.
if I don't think, like, this is the thing. If I think my idea is little, when I tell it to the next person, the way I'm going to tell it is like it's a little idea. So now they're thinking the idea is little.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When in all actuality, my idea is not little.
No, it's big.
Not at all. Because I'm not trying to get a little profit.
Right. You're trying to get a big profit. Right.
Yeah. And of course I'm trying to get a big profit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something we gotta.
So we gotta change that perspective. And I'm starting with me. My ideas and my business ventures are not little. They are big. And they are what they are, but they are intended to be bigger than what they should be and what they are going to be. So let's change that narrative. Like he says, these business ventures that we come up with are not small at all. They're business power ventures that others don't have the heart or the guts and the risk to take. So let's just go right there and there's no disrespect or diss to anybody, but when you're typically grinding and you're starting businesses and you're working through them and you've been doing them for a while, you collect a lot of sense of awareness and intuition. And in that intuition, you can tell who's business minded and who's not. And there's not many business minded people that you collect along the way. That's all. Let me move forward, Mike. I had a topic that I wanted to address, so I'm gonna go there with it, and then we can move on to one of yours. I know you had many, even if they're written down or you've been holding them back. I got a few written over here that you wrote, so that might even make the show that he didn't even know. So it's all good. We got a lot to discuss, and sometimes it might not fit. So here's my topic. So how can we encourage people to make decisions after feeling emotionally raged? Like if I call you and say, Mike, man, this fucking girl, she keep telling me what to do with my money. So I was arguing with her. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I ain't coming back. Look, I'm done. I packed my stuff up. I'm out of here. How can we encourage ourselves and then others in situations that are like this? Or, this job is not giving me my due. I've been here 5 years. She's been here 2 years and she got a promotion and I'm still in the same spot. I'm leaving, Mike. What do you think I should do? Although I got these bills in this house, I get another job. I'm leaving. How do you feel about these decisions of helping people?
I mean, being as though you got bills, you don't never leave a job until you got something else to go to, another job to go to. No, that's not good. No, that's bad advice. Somebody told you that's bad advice.
Right.
And I bet you somebody told you that, somebody broke that told you that.
Right. So
you get what I'm saying?
So what if you get false advice? Like your wife says, well, baby, I know it's rough at that job, but if you need to quit, go ahead and quit. You'll find another job. Is it wise to take that advice even though she's just riding on your team because she know you're upset and she don't want to argue with you? Or is it wise to just say, you know what, let me take 5 minutes to think about this before I take this advice, because I could be blowing the whole family's income on this emotional, because I'm mad. She got the promotion for 2 years.
Well, I'm going to go with this. Right? At the end of the day, you still know you have bills and mouths to feed.
Right.
Now, being as though in your household, you have a part to play. You have a role to play.
Right.
And you can only respect is a big thing inside the household. See, there's a level of respect you have inside the household when you're paying bills, when you're helping out in other areas, when you're doing the things you're supposed to do financially. But once you're not doing the things you're supposed to do financially,
right,
after a certain amount of time, the respect level is going to change.
It's going to change. It is.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's not natural. It's natural.
Okay. So you gotta know that going in. You gotta know your partner. If your partner says, quit, I'm gonna handle the bills until you find something else, okay, cool. And if your partner says, listen, I don't mind you quitting, but you gotta have something else lined up, that's also cool. Right? Now the first, when you say your partner say quit, she gonna do everything until you find a job. That's cool, that's all right. But you better find another job like that, because you want to keep your respect inside of your household.
So the question now is, when I'm in emotional rage, and not just me per se, but anybody, you're in emotional rage. How can you encourage yourself to not take that advice from wife, friend, even mother, and think, hey, I am mad, but hold on, let me take 5 minutes and think about what my next move is. After you just said, that's it, I'm done. How do you come out of that spell? Because you can be like, you know what, man, I ain't gonna do that. I want to quit. I'm gonna find something. I mean, but once some people are, I made my decision. That's it. How do you break that part? Let's talk to those people. I made my decision. I'm done. I'm not. How you break your pride and your emotional rage and put it to the side for the better sake of your family and your household and paying bills? How do you break it yourself?
I mean, you gotta know yourself. You gotta know yourself. Number one. Number two, you can't make emotional decisions with something that's detrimental to your family. You can't make emotional decisions.
Can you say that one more time, a little bit louder? I like that answer.
You can't make emotional decisions.
Emotional decisions
regarding something that's detrimental
to
your family.
You
understand?
Right.
And you can't make an emotional decision when the decision you make affects other people.
Your children, your wife,
understand?
Husband, whatever.
Yeah, it affects your children in the household and outside of the household.
Yeah.
It might affect your mom. You might be helping mom.
You might have gave her your word you will help her.
Yeah, or I know you
Yeah,
you might give your mom a certain amount of money every month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now if you ain't got no job,
right,
you got to hold that money back because now you got to focus on what's going on with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you quit a job, before you quit a job, let's go before you quit a job. Let's go before you think about quitting a job, right? You got to find another job you want to go to. And you can't just make an emotional decision. Once again, you can't make an emotional decision because it's going to affect more than just you. You understand?
Right. I understand.
And that's before, the respect situation in the household and all that, because
that's before. Remember that word. It's before, which we don't think about when we are emotionally enraged or upset.
Let me say this. A lot of times in a relationship, not a friendship, but a relationship, a lot of times love is not enough. You got to have that respect.
That's true.
Us as being black men, we got to keep that respect. So and what do black women respect? I'm not gonna say the most. I'm gonna say what is high on the totem pole for black women?
Consistency.
As far as a man.
Consistency of work ethic, and to keep his position at some level or degree of a job. I think she takes inventory of that as far as taking care of the family and yourself.
All right, I'm gonna go with money.
That's the same thing.
I'm gonna go with paper. If you ain't bringing in some kind of bread, some kind of money, you're not going to be respected the way you feel like you should.
Been there,
you know what I'm saying?
Done that.
It's just like if you living with a woman and y'all get into a heated argument and so on and so forth. Yeah. If you paying and if you doing everything you're supposed to do in that household, you paying bills and everything, you lessening her burden with her bills, her kids, her car note, her food, you know what I'm saying, her toiletries. If you lessening the burden on her, it's gonna take her a long time for her to say, you know what, get out. Yeah. Right? It is. But if you ain't playing your part financially, you can get told get out.
In the New York minute. 86 real quick.
Yeah, in the New York, it's just like
seconds.
But it's warranted. It's warranted. As a man, you gotta play your part.
As a man, you gotta play your part.
You gotta provide. You gotta protect. You gotta love. You gotta nurture the kids.
You gotta love and nurture the kids. Put time in with the kids.
You know what I'm saying? But it all stems back to the way we was raised in the mindset that we got. You know what I'm saying? For we just put such a prejudice on money. Yeah. Myself included. Myself included. Because if I ain't got no paper, I'm a miserable dude.
Me
man.
too. Me too.
I don't be around nobody. I don't talk
me
about.
too. That's a control of my mental.
Yeah.
A big control.
That's just woven in who we are. That's all. That's all. But getting back on topic, you got to know yourself. Don't make an emotional decision without having. As far as quitting a job, I'm gonna say quitting a job because that's the example you gave. Don't make an emotional decision as far as quitting a job until you got another job or something else that's going to replace that money you was getting from this job lined up. Because if you do that, it's all downhill. It can be all downhill.
I love that answer. I'm gonna go into a quick answer, and we're gonna move on. I believe when you're in emotional rage and you're upset, your first train of thought is not your answer. And if anybody goes along with it, that's fine. But you gotta give yourself, I believe, that whisper in your mind, not out loud so much, but just to weigh in on the situation a little bit, and then realize that you don't have an option. Because if this is all you have, like what Mike just stated, then you realistically got to go back in and do what you got to do until something else comes about. Because when things fall, it's a domino effect. Once this happened, that happens. The leak comes in the roof now that you lost the job, and all these other list of complaints come in from all these life issues, right? And then you feel helpless and hopeless. So the decision making that we make when we're emotionally raged, not just with a job, but even in a good relationship, or even with like maybe like a business that we have, or we want to give up on it because someone disapproves of it that might be behind the scenes working with you. It's best that you just take time to make the decision. Be mad, because you can be mad. You're allowed to be mad, but use that energy for something else. And I'm gonna leave that alone, because we can't make emotional decisions in the moment. We can only let that first thought be that train of thought that we eliminate when we come to our senses after maybe however long it takes. So let's move on from emotional decision making into something a little bit more different. I'm just saying that we ain't got no sponsors. You want to put some money behind our show, you call one of us up. Because in a minute, we definitely will promote your brand or whatever if you put some money into this show. But we're going to move forward. Mike, I know you got some other things that's on your mind that you want to talk about. And we're going to keep it 100 right now because, I got that text message from Mac. I know Mac couldn't be here today about senseless gun violence, but I'm going to say that for next. But right now, we was just on emotional decision making and family first. And we know the importance of family first, and we now know the importance of emotional decision making and how we play that out. So let's move on to the next topic at hand. And I know you got a lot of things on your mind, and I'm gonna just go to the left of you or the right of you and look at some of your old topics that didn't make the show weeks before and read some of them out loud. And but if you have something that comes to mind, you can go ahead and go on, because I like this one. Let me just read this out in the air real quick before Mike comes up on. Do you feel like we are worth our worth when in a relationship after breaking up or failing in a relationship? At least I believe that's relationship.
Let me see. My handwriting might be a little twisted.
It's the last one I was reading. This last one.
Okay. The question is, do you feel like it was worth it after a breakup or going apart? And what I mean by that is, as we said before on the show, when you go into a relationship with a person, that's an investment. So when you leave and everything, and you got time to sit back, you be like, I just gave this person 3 years of my life, or 7 years of my life, or 10 years of my life. Like, was it worth it?
Was it worth it? Walking away and just blowing it off once again, emotional.
No, I'm not saying walking away from the relationship. I'm saying the whole relationship as a whole.
Was it worth
dealing
all
with
that
this
time?
person, giving this person all this time out of your life. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You can't get time.
I
only
got
thing
you.
you can't get back is time.
Right.
You cannot get time.
Time is what we take for granted. And like we talked about in other shows before, it's the most precious thing we have. So why we take it for granted?
So in a failed relationship, when you finally feel like it's done and over with, whatever, and you know, monetary stuff, that's all well and good. But the time that you gave this person, do you feel like
years
it was worth it? It was worth
years.
Giving this person that last 10 years or that last 5 years or however long it was.
I believe you on that one. Can I answer first?
Yeah, do your thing.
I gotta go off of no personal experiences. I'm not basing this on me. I just believe that you feel like whatever the circumstances is, it depends, right? Because if you gained some type of morals, some type of intellect, some type of something you could carry on in your life forever, you gained something out of this, you was taught something, then maybe it was. But the other flip side is what I say is maybe it wasn't, because you probably waste so much of your life you didn't invest anything to yourself. And when that ends, you're left with nothing but you. And you didn't put anything into that because you were so codependent on this relationship. I know brothers like that, not sisters, brothers. And I'm not calling them out, no name, no blame. They might not even be alive anymore. I just know brothers like that, where they put so much stock into a relationship. I don't see them putting anything to themselves. And then if that relationship ends today or tomorrow, was it worth it? And they had to ask themselves that. And probably the answer would be is no, because when they left that, when they got into it, it was the same from when they left. The actual same exact point where they were at. And to me, that's wasted time. It's all we have. We need to be progressing. We need to be enhancing, evolving, escalating to better things in life, not escalating to feuds and frustrations. So the understanding this point is, it's a cliche to me. It's a yes, if I learned something from this relationship of 10 years, and was able to carry on something in business or even related to me having a talent, then yes, it was worth it because I was able to use this as schooling, right? Education somewhat, or something I could take and teach my kids. But if I gained nothing but love and heartbreaks and whatever that comes with, then no. So did I answer that well? I mean, I had two sides of the fence. So people say, which one is it then? Yes or no? I mean, like I said, it depends. If you left the damn relationship with nothing but learning how to make SpaghettiOs, then no. If you left the relationship learning how to write client letters and how to do receipts and how to learn how to do booking and how to learn how to do business a little bit better, or even speak more collectively as an individual and use that to progress in business, then yes. I don't want to be complicated, but it's two sides of my story. So, and it's not related to nothing. I'm just saying it in the sense of I'm basing this on Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm just saying.
A lot of times with me, man, I like to dive face first into an issue, and I'm my hardest critic. Mm-hmm. I'm the hardest on myself. So what nobody else got to say about me don't even really matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when it comes to relationships, a lot of relationships I had, I just sit back and feel like it really wasn't worth it. It really wasn't worth it, just on a simple standpoint that we really didn't know each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't court each other the way we should have. We didn't really sit down and really get to know each other.
Right.
Before we started doing our thing. You know what I'm saying?
And what could that be called? A relationship like that, what could that be called?
A failed relationship. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, I push the button, because when you're a man chasing a woman, you turn into somebody else. Just from your first conversation, you're not that person you really are, because you're trying to push off somebody that she's gonna like. You know what I'm saying? And at one point in time, I'm like, I was good at that. I was real good at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you can only be somebody else for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So some point in time, the
You
mask gotta come off.
Come off. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just feel like when my mask came off, they looking at me like, well, who is this person?
Right. What is this sweet, romantic,
and
charming guy?
And vice versa. Her mask come off. I'm looking at her like, well, who the hell is you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Is this the real
And
you?
now the mask is off. Now you got two real people standing here. You know what I'm saying? And they button heads. You know what I'm saying? Because the comfortability level then got so high.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you say, well, I love you. I want to be with you. After y'all having sex, y'all doing all this stuff. But you really don't, the foundation not solid because you really don't know each other.
Really don't know each other.
You know what I'm saying? So then, hopefully it's not no kids involved. Y'all didn't have no offspring, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if y'all did have offspring, now it's a cycle. You know what I'm saying? Because now y'all break up. Now you on to the next, she on to the next, right? The mask is on, the mask come off. They don't like each other no more, right? Your baby mom now don't like her new dude. You don't like your new chick.
Right.
Y'all button heads.
Right.
Because y'all didn't take that time to know each other.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now you got 4 people. Now it started off as 2 people that didn't know each other, broke up, got with 2 other people. Now there's 4 people. Then the cycle continues. And instead of 4 people, you got 8 people. And it's a cycle that just keep going. You understand? All because we don't, myself included, when I say we, trust and believe I'm myself included, we don't really know how to get to know each other before taking that next step.
That's absolutely, you know what I'm saying? True.
I can't tell you the last time I courted I've been married so long, even before my wife, even back in my younger days, my 20s and stuff, and people say, oh, I was in my 20s, that's why I did that. That's not an excuse.
No.
It's not an excuse.
No.
Because from the time you're 1 year old, 2 years old, you're taught right from wrong.
Yeah.
Stove hot, don't touch the stove.
Right.
I'm gonna pop your hand. Right?
Absolutely.
Don't steal, I'm gonna pop your hand. Right? So it's just, you taught right from wrong from the time you can start comprehending. So you get a sense of what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
You understand?
Absolutely.
But us coming up through the ranks as a culture, we're not taught certain things. We're not taught. I know as young men, we're taught run out there and get all the chicks. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But run out there and get all the chicks. Right?
From our friends.
No, from our supposed to be old heads, old ladies, whatever it is.
Friends.
And at one point in time, it's cool. But you know, at some point in time, you got to evolve. That stuff got to get old.
You got to get old. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But on the female side of things, it's like, now I'm not coming at no female. I love females, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got 6 daughters myself. So my thing is, and us as men, that's why I'm so hard on my daughters, right? Because us as men and as fathers, we got to teach our daughters how they're supposed to be treated by a man. We got to teach our daughters, you know what I'm saying? You don't just give nobody your body because you like them.
Right.
Because you feel like you want him to stay around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't be cool with you knowing him talking to somebody else or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, us coming up, I'm guessing, you know, the women we were dealing with, their fathers didn't teach them that.
Right.
That's why the behavior that they had,
the way it was.
Now you look up, that's why it's so many households with I might be getting too deep, man. I might be getting too deep, but I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm gonna leave it at this. In the black culture, there's so many households with one mother and multiple kids' fathers.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah. And
it's because us as men, us as fathers, we fail our daughters.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? By us, whether it's just us not being there, whether you're in jail or you just not putting that time in with your daughter. You know what I'm saying? We're failing as fathers.
Yes. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even going to talk about the sons. You see what's going on.
Yeah.
You see what's going on with the sons. I'm talking about the daughters, because in all actuality, our daughters are their kids' first teachers.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely.
Now, the father gonna come in here and then give his input, so on and so forth. I'm not gonna say all fathers. I'm gonna say 8, maybe 7.5, 8 out of 10 fathers are gonna come in and give their input. But for the most part, you know, once we have a baby on the way, now you know we got to go get some money because I got a baby on the way.
Yeah, that's the pressure now.
I remember back in the day when I was coming up, oh, my baby gotta have the Jordans, my baby gotta have coochie sweaters on Easter, my baby gotta have this and that, my baby gotta have, you know what I'm saying?
The best of the best.
Yeah. Instead of
my baby needs this college plan, or my baby needs this scholarship fund,
IRA, mutual fund,
IRA, or money marketing account.
It's just so much stuff we not taught. You know what I'm saying? It's so much stuff we not taught. And being as though coming up through the ranks, we're not taught it, we turn a blind eye to it and feel like we don't need to learn it.
Right.
We need to learn it.
Right.
Because we only can teach what we know to our offspring, our sons and our daughters. You understand? So if we don't have nothing to teach them, they're going to learn it from somewhere. And they might learn the wrong thing.
They might learn the wrong thing. That's true.
You understand?
That's true.
But, you know, I'm not going to get along with it.
Well, we're going to move on from that. Well, you know, we could be there all day. But we understand that when you leave relationships, you have to weigh in on, was it worth putting as much time as you put in? Because you probably took away from yourself, what you did a lot of time. But what did you gain from all of that time? You know what they say? When you go to be a doctor, you got to put 12 to 16 years in. But you gain something from 12 to 16 years. When you're with a human being for 12 to 16 years and you walk away with nothing, you can see why people invest into violence and rage and you owe me, or an entitlement somewhat. It's not right. But you see what I'm saying? That invested time makes you feel like, okay, I don't even want you anymore, but no one else is going to have you because I invested all this time and now I don't have anything, or I gave everything to this and you're keeping it because we're not together, we're divorced and you're taking everything. So not to bring up anything, I'm going to leave this alone. But even in the instances of a football player like Ray Caruth, who's like, I don't want you anymore, but you're not having my baby. I'm not paying you outrageous money. I invested time into you, but you're not going to do it my way. You got to go. I just believe that, when you're with somebody, and that might be two different instances, but what I'm saying is when you're with somebody, it don't work out. It's messed up. It is, man or woman, right? Because you invested all this time, and what are you left with? But I think that you just got to walk away and take what your losses and your wins and move on, because any retaliation is coming right directly towards you and to your existence, which could be your children, their children, and whatever else. Let's move on. I'm going to just keep it going with something different. I had another topic, but I got off key with the Ray Caruth thing, and I ain't want to pull that in there because that's old school. Some of them millennial people might not even know all about that. So my apologies on that. Let's move forward.
Being as, and I'm how can I word this? Being as though our sons and our nephews and little cousins are doing what they're doing on the streets of Philadelphia right now. What can we do to help? What can we do to help them and change their mindset? Because this is really not good. You know what I'm saying? Because we still got family here.
So on a positive note that I want to start off with is that we need the brothers to continue to lead the way that we were not taught to lead, but knew that we had to one day become leaders. Meaning that if the fathers left our household and they wasn't there, we learned it from some other way, shape, or form. We were up next, right? So we need those young men to continue to be our next generational leaders. And how to be leaders is by being good examples, fathers, role models, etc., etc. If you're leaving, going to jail, if you're taking risks and then doing crazy things, there's no way we can count on you guys to be our generational future leaders to the children that are coming, which will be your children, to be led by you guys. I'm gonna start off like this. The first thing I could say is, I remember the POW, I remember the Rex, I remember a little bit more outlets. I remember a little bit more opportunities for kids these ages that are 15 to 25, right? Remember we said a long time ago, they're the hardest group to reach, right? And now look what they're doing. They're so hard to reach, they're reaching for trouble because they're bored. I just believe that we need to find ways to open up. Instead of just saying they're out of control, we need to find ways to open up to whoever we can. Legislation, state representatives, community leaders, block captains, just outreach. Like these ideas that me and Mike be having, we want to share them with y'all for the children, mainly the boys of our culture in America, period, from 15 to 25, right? Because that's where we're losing them the most. The carjackings, fightings, bombings, murderers, all kind of violence. Stuff that it wasn't this bad 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But it seems to be more outrageous from 15 to 25. I think that we need to find solutions. And the first solution that we find is outreach for them to be able to go to activities such as the POW, recreation, basketball tournaments. Start the leagues back up in the spring, not just the summer. Start them up in the fall. Have a winter league. Give them things to look forward to. And parents have to be involved. It's not on a child to be a child from 15 to 25. Even when you're 21, I know I was 21 and my mind was still 17. Now, no matter what. Yeah, I know I had to work. I was working at 17. I was working at 16. But I know I wasn't really functioning as an adult. So my point is this. The child needs leadership, an example, no matter who it comes from. Stepfather, a big brother, a OG. You need that. So we have to help with leadership, right? But we also, what Mike said, is they're harder to reach. We can't take your hands and push you into the fire. We have to be able to talk you into it. You have to allow yourself to be convinced to be talked into it. It's an opportunity of advantage if we could say, hey, man, I remember seeing so-and-so play in these leagues and he lit it up. And the guy 15 says to me, he ain't better than me. I just don't play no more because the Rex closed down. I don't got nowhere for us to go, so I'm about to go steal his car. For me, I want to stop right there, Mike, and put myself in a script and say, no, I don't want you to steal that car, youngin'. Let's sit down and let's talk. Because first of all, I can't get through to you by just rapping to you like this. I need to sit down and really dig deep. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to grab this, right? First of all, let me get your number and give you mine so we can get in depth a little bit more. Secondly, let's find some things that you and your friends like to do. Okay, what do y'all figure as fun? Because I'm looking at activities. We had the POW, we had football, we had a lot of things, even baseball. We got to open back these things up for these youth. These young men need something to do. All my guys had something to do, but they made their own choices. Today, they don't make their own choices. There's enough choices to make, but do something to not be bored. So I'm going to go rob this car because that's fun. If we had the basketball league, I could try to outplay you and show you I'm better than him. But since that's not there, I got to go rob this car. So my thing is, what can we do to help them? Talk to them more. Give them advice. Encourage them. Stay connected to them. Let them know, hey, look, I ain't just rapping your head off just to say this. I want to stay connected to you and your group. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go talk to the state representative and let him know I got a Corey Clements, a Tyreek Darby, and I got a Tom Jones that all want to play in the recreation spring league. Okay, now I want to talk to them about opening up the gym and let them play off hours so they can practice. Just give them something to look forward to every day, not just Monday through Friday. Give them something to look forward to. You got to open the doors up for them. Oh, well, the funding is not there. Okay, we need to create a drive or figure out ways we can have open drives that give to these children, these young men. Because I'm speaking for the young men. I don't never turn on the news, Mike, and see Sharnice or Rashida or Roro go out there and inject the car and shoot up the hood. I don't see that. So my thing is to save those in need. These people in need are the ones who are bored. And it's the young men. Because I was that age, and when Mike was too, we had outlets. We had options. We had so many pickers of the litter. You know, it was cool to get money back in our day. No matter how we got it. But now they got to get money in any way that they can. But no options is being offered for them to think about, hey, I do like to do this. Everybody not going to play basketball. But why don't you open up the Freedom Theater to some of these 15-year-olds who's in the classroom making the teachers laugh? That would be my list of how we can make immediate effective change. Solutions to problems. Not just problems and complaints. Solutions to problems from Tamir, Tariq, Daquan, Dasim, and Daoud. All of them stated what they like to open back up or see open, talents they have, things that they want to do to help them. We have to hear their side of the version, right? But we also have to politic it, meaning be the middleman for them, put it into play. Play a part in these problems so that we create solutions instead of just saying they need to do this, they need to do that. We got to get involved in some way, shape, or form. We do. But it's only but so much you can expect of us. We all have to play a part. The part we play is writing things down and taking them and putting them somewhere and showing that these young youth that, hey, listen, man, I'm trying to help y'all because I was doing so much, having so much fun. I ain't had no time to think about robbing a car. My friends didn't either. We were so busy with the chase of this, the chase of that, the chase of whatever the thrill was at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to have that too. We look forward to going on the prom, you know, because we knew that night we was going to have a ball. We look forward to graduation night. Or if we wasn't graduating, we look forward to him having his graduating night. And we look forward to his birthday. We having a birthday bash. Oh, we going to the game to watch them at 16th Street on Susquehanna. They're in the summer league, Dante and them. They're in the finals. We look forward to that. I got to see Buzzy play at 25th and Diamond. We're going to go to the summer league and see Buzzy in the championship. Reds from Gratz. We got to see them play over there at 25th and Diamond. These things don't happen anymore. Okay? Villanova has a great program, and they're far out in the regions in the county. And they had one of the best programs, and Jay Wright's retiring. And I just look at how great of a leader he is to those boys and how we could be similar to a Jay Wright is just by offering them opportunities, giving them chances. Not for schooling, but for talent and other things that they're interested in. Challenge their interests and show them that you're supporting them consistently. That might help. Mike, how you feel?
Powerful words from a strong dude, y'all. We're going to wrap this show up. And we'll be back with you, hit you with some new fire next week.
Yes.
Till then, y'all stay safe, man.
Thank y'all for tuning in to I'm Just Saying, and we ain't playing. Stay away from the violence. Stay safe. Protect your families. Love your lady. Treat her like a queen she is. She hold down the house, take care of the kids. And ladies, love your husbands. Love your boyfriends that you committed to that's got your back. Stay as one. Remember, God has us covered. Allah knows best. We want to see y'all next week on I'm Just Saying. Next Sunday, the podcast will air right here, no matter what. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm Just Saying.